listening to the CubeCast.
Cast. We got Amy Harcourt, aka Daleks. Yeah, there she is. And Tom, my partner in PK crime.
Yeah.
No crime committed that we got caught up yet.
Yeah.
And myself, Christy. What's going on, everyone? Nice to see you. So Daleks is in Manchester.
Yeah,
Amy.
I know.
We'll go with Amy for the rest of the
Amy,
podcast.
yeah. Amy's it's a bit more personal. I prefer my name.
Yeah, I get it. Me too. So where did Daleks come from?
Okay, so it was actually I don't see this is the thing. I don't actually think I should carry on using it. It was like ages ago, and basically I just came out as trans, and I changed my name at that point, and it's different from what it was now. It was originally Alex that I went for. And because that was like more gender neutral, and I wasn't really too sure if I was actually trans female or maybe non-binary, so I changed it to that to test the waters, basically.
Right.
So it was a mix of two different names that are way in the past now, and it stuck. Someone said, "Oh yeah, you should change your YouTube name to this," and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's go for it.
Cool. Yeah, I had to ask. I've always been curious, so like I didn't want to ruin it.
I know I've wanted to change it now for a while, but it's also it's sort of sticked, and I've sort of like, even though I've moved past that time and them names, like that aside, it's still kind of a cool name, Space
Yeah.
Age.
It's memorable.
It really is. You know, I was cruising on your Instagram, and you know, I prefer your parkour now than earlier on.
Yeah, okay. This is a thing that I've struggled with, and it's coming to terms with the change in how I move. So before, in the videos that you're referencing, you can see that it was more powerful but less flowy and a little less, it was very stiff and rigid, like you could tell
Right.
that there was muscle there. And now it's like I can't do the same thing, so now it's moved away from that and went into more flow and trying to do more creative lines, just adaptation. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Like for you to really notice that change in training.
Yeah. I think it just came from so I used to, I don't know, I'm making so many I don't knows and everything. It's the alcohol. Blame the alcohol. Anyway, it basically came from the fact that my skill level sort of dropped off, and I was aware that it kept on getting worse and worse and worse, and I was like, what's going on? Like, my body's changing so much. I went from having all this power to slowly losing everything that I could do. I lost how to do things like side flips at one point, which I've been able to do since I started.
Right.
So the change was quite big, and I basically had to adapt how I moved to fit that. And I couldn't keep on doing the dangerous things that I was going for and the really powerful moves, because I was just getting injured and it wasn't working. So I basically had to take what I've still managed to keep and just make lines around what I've got now. So
do you feel that kind of just forced you then to get more technical?
Pretty much. It was just like, hey, you need to just change the whole fucking thing. Like, throw out what you was doing before, bring in a new style, and I actually prefer it too. Like even though I can't do the same sort of tricks, I prefer the flow and how I put together lines. It's just better. Females do it better. What can I say?
Well, I've been telling everyone this, but you know what? That's great. Can I talk about that? Because
Yeah, go for
you're
it.
the perfect person to talk about that too. Because like I see the majority of people in parkour, maybe it's the same for you, maybe it's not, but males, then females, and then like I love it. I see these big things and the power and flips and whatever, and for some reason, however I think it is, but I know I'm more flowier and I incorporate that. Like Tom always says, like, "Hey Christy, what kind of crazy move are you doing now?" You know, kind of thing, right? And then he tries it and it's great, but it's different. Like when I was starting out, for example, doing a Kong. So having weight distribution in a female body is totally different than the power and the upper torso of a male body. So
Yes,
so
100%.
so I struggled with Kongs and I literally in my head beat myself up for it until I realized, whoa, okay, I'm training with guys. Like, I mean, it's literally they're like testosterone difference, muscle difference, proportion of body difference. So I gotta attack this from a different way. And ever since I've thought about that with my cats, my Kongs, my lines, my flow, I just like, well, this is me. How dare I compare myself to these things? That's
Yeah.
their parkour movement. And, you know, there's no scale where I'm supposed to be in parkour compared to as everyone else, you know?
Right.
So I
I
had to really
feel
figure
like
that
that could
shit out.
be I feel like that could just be in general, to be fair. Like
True.
no one's body's the same, so trying to fit yourself into that category is it's never going to work because you don't move like them. So if you're constantly just trying to replicate everyone else, then what are you actually, because it's nothing new. Like
Yeah.
what they're doing, it's already been done. You don't need to go and do it again. It's like find your own style and develop it from there. That's how people connect with you, and that's how you actually go places within parkour. Like you need to develop your own. And I think it's funny how you said about the weight distribution and stuff like that, because that hit me like a brick, honestly. It was weird. I started HRT about a year and something ago, and the difference has been incredible. Like t-shirts that I used to be able to wear just feel completely different on me now. And this is why it was so hard for me to keep the powerful tricks that I used to be able to do. Um, because I had like a different center of gravity now, and my body doesn't rotate on the same axis. So when I was trying to do
Right.
corks, for example, like I just couldn't do corks anymore, like whatsoever. I still can't, like I'm struggling with them now, but I just can't get my body to flip the same way that it used to do because I'm not built like that anymore. So changes.
Well,
Wow.
thanks for checking a box off my curiosity because I didn't know how to think of that otherwise, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Like
You're welcome.
from someone
Ticking
who would know
boxes off
better than I would.
one at a time.
You're awesome. Like
Thank you
your
so
Inst-
much. So
your
are you guys.
Instagram is so wild. Like
There's a lot going on with it.
I love it. It's great. It's really entertaining on all sorts. Like you're funny. You got some good music. You know, it's not just parkour. Like you did some crane hangs. Like that was great.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Jeez,
Wow.
I'm still
I
impressed with that.
cracks me up when you can go that far. Like I think I'm daring at a playground doing some monkey bars. You know?
Yeah. I'm like,
It's
if I
one of them things. Like I hate watching people do it because it scares me. Like I'm with my friends and they'll be walking across a beam like 30 stories up, and I'm like, dude, no, like don't do that. I'll do it. Just you stay there. I'll get on with it. Just don't follow me, because. And this is the thing, they're probably even more skilled than me, but I still get scared watching them. I'm like, yo, you're that mad. Like, that's absolutely mad. How are you doing that?
Right.
And it's like, wait, hang on, I've got to follow you now? Like, this is how we get up? What's going on?
Follow the leader.
Honestly,
Hey?
I'm like the same way
Follow the
with
leader.
on heights with people. Like, I'm okay with myself there, but when other people are around me, I get so nervous.
I
It's
know,
like
it's
worried
like I
about
just
them.
don't trust them. I don't trust them. I'm like, yo, I know you're skilled. I know that you're good at parkour, but just can I control you from the sidelines? Can I get like an Xbox controller and just like move you about?
That's
I don't
awesome. I
know.
like how you say that. The Xbox controller. Are you a gamer?
A little now more than I used to be. That's actually how I got into parkour.
Cool.
I was a huge gamer, and out of all of the games that I could have chose to get me started in parkour, it was Minecraft. Like,
Really?
you'd never believe it, but it was Minecraft.
That's
Now my gaming choice is it's more for like when I'm injured or just when I'm not doing parkour. But Rocket League,
Oh yeah.
that's a good one. And
yeah.
Apex Legends. Apex Legends, yeah, that's the one.
I don't know that one.
Those are both. I haven't played either of those games, even though I play probably
Need
too
to
many
play
video
them.
games.
They're so good, honestly.
I heard of Rocket League. I love the concept that you're a car kicking a soccer ball around. I love the
I know,
concept.
tell me about it.
Or a football around, pardon me.
It's gone free to play now, so you can pick it up free on the App Store.
Oh,
That's
there you
cool.
go. Anyone
I know,
listening?
tell me about it.
I can't get into games. I want to say I have an addictive personality, but sometimes I like to really go hard into something like parkour or Zelda.
Yeah, it's like
You
once
know?
you sort of you get into it and your body, like everything just takes over. Like 1 minute you're sort of studying what it is you're interested in, the next it's like full blown like, oh, I need to get this, I need to watch this video. I'm just fucking balls to the wall, man.
Totally.
Like just into it.
Me too. Me too. I'm taking Kung Fu right now with Nino from a previous episode. Shout out to Nino, you're awesome. And it's like another awakening in my life. Like I thought parkour was the awakening, kind of thing, right? But Kung Fu is another awakening on a different level. But it's just like something to look forward to. Like I look
Yeah.
forward to. I dream of jams. I look forward to seeing so many people there. But like even doing this other kind of movement, it's another it gives me spark to this dreary life going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's movement related, so it's going to help you out in your parkour. So I think it's a win-win, to be fair.
Thank you.
Can't really lose on that one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So tell us about community in Manchester.
It's so we've got quite a interesting community. It's very together but also split. So the biggest community in Manchester is called Northern Parkour. We've got like 1,000 followers on a Facebook group, and also back in the day, the guy that sort of runs it, called Paul, he was hitting like 1 million views per video. It was insane.
Oh.
So that's sort of where everyone gathers. Like everyone comes under Northern Parkour. I think that's how most of us meet. And they're very old school. They do things like they focus on conditioning and pure parkour. And then there's like people within that group, but sort of split off. And even though they don't train with them, they're sort of doing their own thing and they're still connected, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For example, myself, I've got a group of friends that I train with in Manchester, and I consider myself a part of Northern Parkour, but also I don't ever train with them anymore. I do most of my things with my close friends. And And that's kind of the community in Manchester. Like, we have a big overall group and little groups spread out, and it's really fun, especially when they all come together into one big group. It's insane.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in the UK is kind of lucky. It's like that everyone's so compact, kind of. Like there's so many people around where here, like, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
I feel like
We're kind of an island.
Because, like, I think it's because the UK is such a small place, and there's not many people in the UK compared to America or these other bigger countries.
Mhm.
And so that's why you sort of see everyone in the same sort of spots. And that's pretty much it, I think. And it's weird as well because you guys have got more professional athletes, I want to say, in terms of like just pure style. Like, you guys are stylish as fuck. You're some stylish motherfuckers with your movement, I swear. All of
That's
like
cool.
our movement is like, it's good, it's very systematic, and everything needs to be perfect. You guys, you're not on that. You're just like, if you land it, it counts. Like, fuck it. Sticks, who needs sticks? Let me just do a double cork to it. Casual.
Step out of it, right?
Yeah, it is interesting to see the differences between like UK and then kind of more American styles. The UK definitely is a lot more technical.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think it's just mainly based on media and the culture around media. Because I feel like the UK, we grew up on, because it's a European thing, isn't it? It came from France.
True.
So the media in the UK was very heavily influenced by the French, and it sort of got passed down to the UK. Whereas I think America came onto it slightly later, and I think I don't. There's a specific video that Jesse LaFleur made about free running and how that came about, and I think that's what America did. They saw what we was doing, and they sort of took that and made it their own. Started adding their own uniqueness to it, and that is how we got to where we are. I think you was the pioneer in free running, for sure. Like, no question about it.
Yeah, and I for Canada too, I find it's like, I mean, maybe smaller communities, but it's more of like a middle ground, I find, between UK and like actual United States.
I can't say I know much about the Canada scene.
And you wouldn't. There's honestly, there's not a ton that comes out from Canada. It's a pretty quiet country. I think no one here really likes to, I don't know, show off or something too much. They don't like filming themselves.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I want to say that I don't know any Canadian athletes, and then if obviously, like, if I've got Canadian athletes following me, I feel like that would be a bit of a shit thing to say. I'm sorry to the Canadians, but I don't really know what you get up to.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Like, no, just like Tom would have some sort of an idea what goes on in Manchester, but I would have no idea. To keep on training and training and training and training until your legs fall apart, and then you move on to something else. I
Pretty much what happens here.
Why show up then?
That is a very good point.
But that's coming from over here. But from me to like to have my own like thing about it and to have my own intrigue, and parkour's for everyone in that way, so that like you can build on what you know, kind of thing, and like maybe not do the big things, right? Because you're a little bit older, or going through something else, and you gotta change your style for this, that, or the other. But That's why I love this sport so much. It appeals for everyone into everything. And if people want to go over to the UK and try something new, and you think you're big here, oh, go where it came from. You
Oh,
know what I mean? Like you're gonna get
I
schooled.
honestly, that actually sort of happened, and you could like really see the difference. And again, Jesse LaFleur, he did a tour around. I don't know, he went on a tour. I forgot which tour, but he came to the UK and was in London with Corey DeMeyers. Um,
Right.
and I think it was IMAX. He got to IMAX and they literally got there, saw what was there, and they barely trained. Like they just couldn't do any of the stuff because it was just so big.
Yeah.
And that's like that video really highlights the difference between the two places. Like they're so good athletes, yet they come to one of the biggest spots in the UK and they don't really know what to do. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Styles are different.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, in the like I've been to London, I guess technically twice. Only once really to do a little parkour, and actually going to a place like IMAX, it shocked me actually. It's so much bigger than it really looks like, you know?
See, I can't say that I do know. I've never been to IMAX.
Oh, really?
Literally never. I just know from videos that it's a very people when people talk about it, like it's got to be hefty. I mean, look at Don Tomato. If Don Tomato can
Yeah.
find things to do on it, it's going to be hefty.
True that.
It's very true.
Jeez, that guy.
I know. Tell me about it.
Oh, jeez. Like, I just love his history too. Like, garbage van figure skater.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like it was such a strange mix. Like, I don't know. I don't. I aspire to be sort of like that because it's like he literally came from. I want to say nothing. It wasn't nothing, but like he wasn't like. I don't know. A lot of other people like they have it really easy. They know that they have it easy. Whether that's just having access to gyms or getting lucky with media shoots or anything like that. So to come from literally being a bin man to like a parkour success, like that's insane.
Something. Yeah, it really is something. That's usually what happens, hey? Someone comes out from usually someone comes from nothing that makes it really huge when you never really thought that there was a place for it in the world.
Yeah, it's underdog.
Underdogs.
Much.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You give them some space. You give someone some space and just see what they can do. Right?
Honestly, it's I don't know. That's why it's so inspiring because it's like you sort of see the grind and where they come from, and it just means so much more to get to the position that they're at. It's such a cool thing to witness.
Speaking about grinds, do you have something, Tom?
Nope.
Okay, I thought you're just I cut you off again.
No.
Speaking about grinds, I just hated watching your grind, your injury.
Yes.
And you paused it, and you paused it, and you paused it on Instagram. I'm just like, oh no! That was in January, early January.
Yeah,
right?
that was just horrendous.
Tell everyone about that.
Yeah,
Shit
so
that happened.
the video that you're referencing is it's a tic tac pre that went horribly wrong.
Sorry, I apologize. I'm
No,
just
it's fine.
visual.
It's fine.
I'm closing my eyes and I'm
deserves
just like
that reaction. So basically, we was training in town. Everything was going fine, and I was out with a friend. And basically, whenever he's out, one of us gets injured. most likely him, but you never know. Like, it's just gonna happen at some point. And when I say like one of us gets injured, usually within the first 5 minutes of training, we'll be like flat out on our back or something. It's not good. So we meet up at the first spot, everything's going fine. Like, we do some jumps, we get warmed up, it's all good. We start heading to find somewhere else. And this is when I came across the Tit Tat Challenge. I saw it and I turned to my friend and I was like, yo, that's a thing. Like, I know that I can do this. Like, it's huge, but I know that it's a thing. So I go and look at it and he's like, yeah, you're not on that. That's lies. And I was like, no, I'll prep it and see what's happening. Like, I'm going to prep it. I'll prep it. So I do some preps. It actually goes surprisingly well. Like, I'm landing high up. And I got to the point where I was sort of in a half send it mode, half like prep mode. So I don't even know. I just sort of went for it. I just thought, it can't be that bad. I just put more power in. I go more high. Simple. That's not what happened. Obviously, it's not what's happened. And I catch the top with my foot. And I thought I landed it at first. And I didn't, because I didn't actually go all out into it. I still treated it like a prep. So I'm half on top, half falling down, and I sort of catch the top of the ledge and I can't get my foot off. So I'm going like straight on my back, and I try to correct it by putting my other foot down. But because of the way that I'm coming down, my foot like literally goes to this side and my body goes to the other side. And I full on nearly snapped my ankle. It was absolutely horrible. And luckily, I got up and I was fine.
Shut up.
Absolutely fine. Like, I was on the floor for like a good 5 minutes and I was just like, oh, this is... No, I feel like I probably screwed up here.
Yeah.
But honestly, after that, I got up and I walked home, got a bus, and I was completely fine and went training the next week.
What?
Wow.
I know.
Dodged a bullet.
Thank you.
Think.
Thank you for
Absolutely
saying
dodged
that.
the bullet.
I thought you'd been like laid up, like foot above head, icing, like doing some like circles or alphabets.
Honestly, I was fine. Like, I think the next day it was a little bit sore, but I was completely fine.
Well, that's
But
great to hear.
that's how I'm injured now. Like, I did the exact same thing, but on a different trick completely. It was a side flip pre, and I basically caught the edge. Like, if that's the side flip pre thing, I flip and sort of catch it there and just completely ankle thing to the max. So I'm out again for another couple of weeks. It sucks. Art and Motion started back up.
Oh yeah.
The submissions were this April, and I did put in a submission because I wasn't able to get in 2019 because of being trans. So I thought, now, like, I have no excuse apart from my foot's fucked up. So I put in a submission, waiting to hear back from them, and hopefully my foot can recover before. I don't know. I'm playing with fire with my foot on that one, but hopefully it's all good.
Are you doing any like specific rehab stuff for it?
Yeah, so I think rehab is very important for any injury, because obviously if you don't recover, you're, number one, not going to do well in your next session, and number two, it's going to be a very, very long time for you to actually recover if you just keep pushing it. So I think for the first couple of weeks, I just didn't walk in it at all. I stayed in bed and I let it sort of do its thing and let the swelling go down, let the bruising sort of heal up. Now, currently, I'm in the more being able to use it phase. So I've been going for really light jogs, doing calf raises, and doing hops. Like I'm trying to do little hops to build up. I can't jump up more than a step at the moment on my bad foot, but it's better than it was. Like we're getting better.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That surprises me. You're even going for a
No.
jog. Wow, flexing.
I'm surprised as well. I'm surprised. Especially like with the pictures of how bad it was. Like my ankle swelled up so much. Like, geez.
I couldn't even imagine. But good on you. Like you're
Thank
doing all the
you.
right things. Like let's hope that submission gets in and we can see see what you can do.
I know. Hopefully, I don't know. I think it's one of them things. Whenever a competition happens now, like I feel obligated to go for it.
Cool.
Because I know that like is things like that, they're not gonna sort of be there forever. And I've already spent like half of my training not being able to do any of that. So now that I can actually, I don't know, now that my hormone levels and stuff like that are where it needs to be, I honestly, I just want to be the first trans person to compete in parkour and maybe podium. Like, I think, I'm sorry, but I think that would be fucking cool. It's sort of like a benchmark.
Sick.
And
You
that,
know what?
like, trans athlete at Red Bull Art Emotion, fuck yeah.
You know what?
Like,
I'd be like right beside you. I'd like love
thank
to
you
be
so
like in the
much.
pit with you, seeing people go after another and you and I still beat them out. Like, you know what I mean? Like to have two women on the the LGBTQ plus everything else and maybe somebody else placing third. You know what I mean? Like that.
Would love
Like
that.
it's tearing me up actually. That'd be so cool.
I genuinely want that to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just something about it. Like, again, that sort of underdog story. It's a weird one because there's this thing where like everyone's just trans athletes shouldn't be allowed to compete. And it's like doing something as like big as Red Bull Art Emotion, like that's it means quite a lot if that makes sense. It's just like a huge like fuck off, I'm gonna live my life and I'm gonna win doing it. Like
That's awesome. I like that. Tom, are you gonna say something?
I was gonna say if anyone is gonna do it, it's probably gonna be you.
Right on.
thank you.
Well, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's other trans girls that are really good and I want them to compete. Like
Do some shout outs.
Ellie Hay on Instagram. She's like my inspiration at the moment. She looks absolutely stunning and she's so fucking good. She's like I don't how is she not pro? Like how is she not gone professional with it yet? I don't know. She is so good though, honestly. Shout out to Ellie.
Cool.
Yeah. I just want to be like her really.
Wow. It's nice to have the inspiration out there.
I know it is.
Do you know, I know you competed once before. Did you place?
At the bottom.
Oh, okay.
No,
some
see,
people
this
like
is
it there. I don't know.
no. Listen, this is a good thing. People would be like, "Oh yeah, I placed close to the bottom. Like it's so sheer. I'm terrible. I should quit." No, I'm completely the opposite. I'm like, "Yo, I placed at the bottom. Fuck you, people saying that trans women dominate. Look at me. Like I'm at the bottom tier. Let's go. Like you're not even gonna get lower than me." I don't know. I
Oh, I
actually
like
played,
that. I like that a lot.
you know, it was Project Underground and Rachel Goff.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was literally like just under her. So
Wow.
She's really
Well,
good.
look
though.
at yeah, look at her now.
I know, she's really good.
Yeah.
Like,
This is what I want to say about competition in general. And I know I'm a better person now, but at some point there was like competitions, however they come across. There's no female, male. I'm competing with, I'm the oldest one there. I'm competing with 18-year-old plus or younger, whatever, males, and I already know I'm beat.
yeah.
And if I had my own, and I mentioned this at a gym, I'm like, well, if I had my own slot, I would win no matter what. I'm like, damn right.
Yeah.
Well, you're the only one competing. I'm like, that's the point. It encourages other women to come out. Like, yeah, like come out. Like, let's if I'm placing and you're like we're the two women that show up, we both place. 3 women,
Yeah.
all 3 of us place. 4 women, okay, now it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? So that's the way I see it.
That's the thing as well. I think more there should be consideration for that. I think not a lot of people are really. It's changing a little bit now. Like it's sort of getting a little bit better. But before it was just everyone got shoved into the same category. Like if you wanted to compete as a female, you're competing with the guys as well. Like there's no in between. And this is another weird thing. Like people say, oh well, if we're gonna separate a category for like a male and female category, then we should like separate trans women as well and put them into their own category. And it's like, no, you're just looking for more ways to exclude us. Like, no.
Interesting, good take on it. Yeah, because then I would have to apply to the LGBTQ plus category,
Yeah.
female side of that. So that's another branch. So it gets really.
I know. And it's like, I'm not being funny, but like, there's not many of us. Like, in the UK
you're not,
alone,
you're
like,
not,
there's
no.
not many of us.
Yeah.
But this
No,
is the thing. Like, there are non-binary freerunners. There's quite a lot of them, and there's quite a lot of good ones as well.
That's a good way to put it.
A shout out to you're gonna have to research this because I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's like Clickstain or something. Clickstain, I don't know. Click and then like stain or I actually really don't know. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. I don't even know if it is their name, but I'll send you a DM, shout them out.
Right on, I love that.
They are honestly like ridiculous. Like they're I don't know. If you think of Archie Iroyan,
Yeah.
they're pretty. I think they train with them, but
Oh yeah, I know who
they're
you're
on that
talking about.
level.
Okay,
Wow.
cool. I know who you're
Yeah,
talking
they're
about.
really good.
Yeah, that's a whole interesting thing. I mean, we could probably have a whole separate podcast just talking about competitions and
True.
what people consider fair and everything. And it's
Yeah.
such a tricky thing because even amongst men, right, there's going to be huge disparities in certain hormone levels.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, where do these lines get drawn? It's almost arbitrary at some point.
Like,
arbitrary, yeah.
It's no one's gonna have that same sort of like I don't know. There's always going to be fluctuations no matter what category you're competing in. And this, like, it only ever seems to matter when it's a trans person. Like, they don't check cis people. And I find that really strange. It's like if you're doing a drug test, for example, everyone gets checked. Not everyone gets checked for hormone levels. And that is
holy shit
discriminatory. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
never thought of it.
Check, like you literally can't check just one person. If you're gonna do it for one person, do it for everyone. Like,
why compete then?
Exactly. It's
that's-
it's just it's
Maybe
weird.
groups should just be divided by, if you want to, if it's always a testosterone issue, maybe you should have groupings by testosterone
I know,
levels,
and this
right?
is the thing as well, because like
Yeah, exactly.
it's like not only that, but sports. I don't know who needs to hear this, but sports aren't fair. Like
Yeah.
honestly,
Uh,
sports
you-
aren't fair.
Number one. That's it. Sports aren't fair.
It's not.
Yeah, they really aren't.
The thing is, like, sports are heavily gyms. People can train at a gym. Like, people have their gyms in their like back garden. Like, I don't
Totally.
have the money to go to a gym every single day. A lot of these top. There you go. See what I mean? Like, these privileged athletes, absolutely privileged athletes.
Yeah.
No, but this is what I
I'm
mean.
kidding,
Like,
I'm kidding.
it's always gonna.
Love it.
There's always gonna be someone that has that upper hand,
Yeah.
and whether it's being biologically taller, for example, basketball, whether it's
Right.
having a gym, having that access to sports equipment, like, it's never gonna be fair.
Financially,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like people can afford like fucking. They got what do you call it now? Like private chefs. Like people have private chefs cooking their meals, and like it's weird. It's like this is how the top athletes are training. Like
Oh
they
yes,
get to do
yes,
these
yeah,
sort of things.
yeah. Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's private to them. Everything's
I
at
know.
their
It's
whim.
like they've got their own chefs.
Right.
Chefs. They've got their own like personal trainers. It's crazy. It's mad.
When do you start living at that point?
I know this. It's systematic. And they're always going to be the best. Like no one's taking their podium spot. You know what I mean? But
True.
like at that point, like, is it even your movement anymore, or is it just like, I don't know. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
This is such a good podcast. I've got goosebumps a number of times. Like, just, I don't know. There's just a good vibe about this, and I love it. So, once again, thanks for coming
Welcome.
on. Yeah,
Thank you for inviting me.
this is so juicy.
Do you get like a lot of support or maybe like hate or something from people in the community?
Surprisingly, a lot more support than you would think.
Good.
Because this is the thing that I found like really weird. So before I actually came out, I actually had a lot less support. And this is the thing. Like some people come out in sports and they suddenly like everyone following them suddenly stops, or like they don't want to be associated with them anymore because of their gender. But like that didn't happen for me. Like the parkour community as a whole is like really fucking good. Like
Cool.
Yeah.
I came out and I had so many more people following me, like literally in a matter of months, and most of them were actually female athletes.
Yeah.
That's
I have a
awesome.
lot more female athletes and probably male athletes following me, and we talk a hell of a lot. Like we have conversations on the regular, and I think that's a really cool thing to happen.
That is.
I feel, I don't know, it's quite welcoming.
Cool.
It's because the parkour community is badass.
Yeah. Shout out to the badass parkour community.
Badass parkour community.
Fuck yeah.
Obviously, like there's some absolute toss pots in parkour, but like
Toss pots.
uh,
I love it.
there's
Sorry,
definitely
that's
more
a
good
new
than-
slang for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yeah. I like it.
Welcome to Britain, motherfucker.
I love it. I can't wait. You know what? You're talking about women in training, and we talked about this on we had an Instagram chat prior a
Yeah.
week ago, everyone else, and I reached out to Amy and I said, you know what? If I saw you at a jam and you were doing your own thing, whatever it was, training, and I saw you, I know I would have been like, hey, what's up? What are you working on here? You know, like, and like, why am I not doing that now? So, I got Amy involved, got her on the podcast, and here we are, and reaching out. So, like Tom said, badass PK community.
I know. It's because like I feel like because it's over the internet, people feel like they can't have that sort of connection, and it's fucking dumb. It's like if you want to reach out to someone, just do it. Like it's weird. A lot of people aren't into that. You reach out to them and they're like, "Oh no, sorry, like I'm just too cool for you." I don't know. I'm definitely not one of them people. If you want to reach out to me, fucking go for it. Like
There you go.
I'm down, man. I'm down for friends. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think the parkour community in general is they're very open people because they all know what it's
Yes,
kind of
they
like to
really
be
are.
that like the weird kid that's climbing on stuff that everyone's
Yeah,
staring
this
at.
is everyone bonds over being an outcast. That's what it
Totally.
is. Like everyone's just got this connection to being sort of left out and like not a part of every day. Because I'm not being funny, but seeing someone jump across walls in their 30s, 40s, 20s, it's not, people don't see that as normal in everyday life. So having this
Yeah.
big fuck off group with everyone just doing the same thing as you, it's like, it's relieving. It's like, oh, so I'm not the only one going around kids' parks doing rolls over fucking benches. Like, there
said
are
it.
other people like me. So,
That's how I feel
Yeah.
exactly. Y- I would never know how to articulate that in my own words. So next time someone asks me about it, I'm gonna just like steal what you just said because I can't say it
yeah,
better.
go for it.
No, it's so
Just,
true.
it's honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like other people out there. There's a percent out there that's just
I
as
know.
wacky as me and does the same kind of crazy that I can relate to and maybe some not times not relate to, but getting to know this person at jams where everyone's open about doing whatever kind of flow or non-flow or jump or non-jump or however it works for that person. And it's just like so diverse in that way too,
I
like
know. It's like it's one of them things. If you see someone outside jumping on walls, you fucking go over to them and you say hi. Like that
yeah,
doesn't happen in any other sports. If you see someone doing
cool.
football on the street, you
Hmm.
don't go over, pick up the ball and be like, "Oh, hi, can I join in?" Like, no, it doesn't really happen. When you see an athlete climbing up a wall, you go over there and you say, "Hi, can I
Yeah.
do this wall climb with you?" And they're like, "Yeah, go for it." And then your best friend, yo, that's literally what happened to me and my best friend.
Oh,
Like,
I love it.
I saw this guy training in Manchester, and he was like, I don't know, he was a couple of years into training, but you could tell that he wasn't really at a very high skill set at the time. I was peaking at the time. I started to get really good. And honestly, I went over and I was like, "Yo, I can see you're doing wall runs. Like, can I join in?" And
No
we've
way.
been friends now for 4 or 5 years.
This is the
Wow.
coolest thing ever.
Honestly, 4 or 5 years. It's like insane. We
Love
was
it.
literally on a phone call yesterday talking about degrees and what they're doing at uni. So parkour friendships are for
Love it.
life.
It is so true. It is an extended arm of a family.
It really is. It's
Like,
like no matter who it is, like the whole community, like everyone's involved in it. Like I don't think you can see someone training parkour and leave them out. Like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great sport. It scares the hell out of me. Even even like getting to know people in the community, but it's solid. Like if you put on your local chat group, I'm gonna be in the city, who's training, like, oh, I'll pop up for a couple hours, or, I got this and
I
that to do.
know.
Someone always shows up, and it's, oh man, even if no one shows up, people show up, like, come to you and say, hey, is this free running? Normally people in Winnipeg will say free running. Are you
Oh
doing,
yeah, oh, I'm so glad that you brought this up.
yeah,
Because this is something that I kind of want to talk about, and it's training outside and
mm.
getting muggles coming over
Yeah,
to you.
Muggles!
Um, I honestly, I have that all the time. Like, I'll be training and okay, I have a specific example in my mind. So I was outside doing some flips, waiting for a friend to come over. I'm in St. Peter's Square in Manchester, so it's a very casually busy spot. Like, it's not packed and it's quite open space, but there's a lot of people coming about, like, to and from work. So I'm just doing some flips next to the tram stop, and I had literally 5 or 6 people all gathered around me just asking me questions about parkour, and I'm honestly waiting for my friend. And I'm just trying to answer like 6 or 7 people, and they all have these deep questions, and they're all like coming over and saying, "Oh, I love what you do. I love parkour. Like, do you know this person? I saw
Always.
them in movies." And
Yes.
it's like when you see someone doing like that, like there's no fear there. Like, you just go say hi. You know what I mean? It's a cool thing to watch. So
Well, that actually happened this year at the Odina. We have this place in Winnipeg at the Forks where two rivers can meet, and the indigenous people did their trade there back in the day. So that's a little bit of history. But so we trained there, and I saw Amathea. Shout out to Amathea. She saw this one guy training jumping, and she's like, "Go over and talk to this guy." I'm like, "What?" He's like doing some like really good precisions, and I'm like, "What?" So I watched him for a bit. I'm like, "Yo, guy, you want to come like hang out with the group?" He's like, "No, no." I'm like, "No, no. Where are you from?" And he's like, "Vancouver, so the West Coast." And I was like, "Come here. Let me introduce you to some people. This is Amathea. This is this person, that person, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is whoever it was at the time." And it was really cool because, like, he was just there to check out the history and the shops and the other things to do around there. And it's cool because, like, we notice a skill. Where are you from? Tell us. You're wearing fair use. What's your deal? You know, kind of thing, right?
it's like, yeah, it's like you can't hide from it.
Yeah, I know you can't.
I remember a time actually a while ago when you could tell who a freerunner was just by looking at their outfit.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
sweats.
Honestly, the baggy pants, the like over like long t-shirts, like the super long t-shirts, the fucking the stupid colored backpacks, man. They were like bright green. They had like bright green or red backpacks and no fear tops. No
So
fear
funny.
long tops. Honestly, I'm telling you.
I literally
Man,
have a bright green backpack.
they really did.
Same
It was
here.
like
Tom,
they were
same here.
rocking they were rocking Adidas. Honestly, I'm telling you.
Just burning us, hey Tom. That's great. It's so true though. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. This is really like humbling. It's great. And everyone, I hope everyone watching, listening is getting as good as laugh as I am. And like dealing with that and laughing at yourself because it's great. It'll progress you in parkour.
Some universal parkour truths here.
I love it. That was such
Honestly,
an era. It really was an era.
it really was.
Now
And they're
it's
like fucking
sucks.
blasting dubstep from speakers.
Oh
Oh,
shit,
They've
yeah.
got Skrillex on
Yeah.
like loudspeakers, honestly.
Yeah.
are
Those are
you
good times.
enjoying the podcast so far? I know I am. Have you checked out the sagemovement.net store? Well, it's really good. We have the essentials, the OGs, and the custom prints. Now, the essentials have aircraft carriers, Zeppelins, and Land Rovers. No, just kidding. Go check it out. Also, they have originals, the ones that I'm wearing right now. There's Sage Movement. I'm wearing a nice blue one. And the prints are made by a team member, Ryland. They're beautiful. They're really nice. I love them. And also, check us out on YouTube and Instagram. Subscribe, leave a comment, like, and we'll get back to you. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. And now back to Christy. That's me. Aberrant. Can we talk about Aberrant?
We can, sure.
Okay, so
do you want to start off, or am
yeah,
I
no,
going to
we're
go
ready
for
to
it?
go. Yeah, go for it.
So, Aberrant, that is something that I created. It's a very recent thing. I actually started it in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. I was looking for something to do with my time, and I thought I would spend it creating a business and a brand. Now this is where it gets really complicated. So I obviously started up and things were going sort of well. I had everything flowing and it was just going to plan. And then I realized that coronavirus is going to be here for longer than a year. And that's when I started freaking out, because I had so much on my plate at that time, and there was no way, like literally no way, I was creating and basically shipping out products. Like, it just wasn't happening. There were delays with shipments. They were obviously problems on the manufacturing, just a shit ton of things. And then obviously money. Like, I started this on we have benefits in the UK for when you're not in work. And I basically put all of that money that I was getting and put it into this thing that I created. Hopefully now I'm starting to pick it up again. I'm looking around for new manufacturers and coming up with more designs. It's a work in progress. I'm going to say that it's a work in progress. And I eventually want to grow it and make it into something a lot bigger than it already is. And it's just going to take time and effort. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
Sounds familiar.
Kind of like us, yeah.
Yeah.
It was super exciting for us. We did pretty much the same thing, not really, but started something, and it smacked down for us. But I feel in the parkour community, we're doing something risky already. So we
yeah,
kind of like, test our measures. We have no government person saying, oh, hey, we've been following you and we're supposed to follow you around and say you're not supposed to go on here, not supposed to do this and not supposed to do that. It's like, really? Well, aren't you not supposed to poison my food and not
Yeah.
supposed to like make the roads like good for 10 years instead of fall apart every 6 months? What kind of pyramid scam is this? You know what I mean? Don't get me started. Everyone could feel it.
the tension.
So we do it anyway. We train anyway, and we went forward with a company anyway. And I don't know. I speak for myself, maybe not for Tom, but I wasn't like, I couldn't get my whole heart behind a business with my current full-time job that kept going through this day and everything forward. But maybe things will change, and I'd love for this parkour thing to like be my life.
Yeah, no, honestly, I am the exact same. Because this is the thing that you've got to take into consideration. It's a lot of work, and for one person to do literally everything,
Yeah.
it is a lot of time and it is a lot of money. I wasted honestly thousands just on samples and things like that, and like when you take into consideration that, like, it's not as easy as people think. I think people like to assume that, like, oh, like Nike, they're a huge company and they're putting out amazing things. It's just not like that. Like, there's a lot more that goes into a independent business.
Mhm.
And obviously with my life as well, like I'm trying to balance the two, and it can get really stressful because I'm thinking about where I want to take the brand, and then I've also got like my own life and personal things on top of that. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's very hard to keep up with it, but
In
we
the outside
we're
world too.
going. Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. We're getting there, but
Yeah.
I think it is a slower process than people would like to believe.
Mhm.
People
Yeah.
want to think that it happens overnight, and
Oh,
for Nike to do all of these things, it's a very easy process. They have a lot of people working for them. But obviously for myself, it is like I'm running my own life, and also on top of that, like people think you've got so much time to give into a business, and like it's just not like that. Like people expect you
Yeah.
to make posts every single day and
shit.
like keep updates going, and it's like, yo, I am not like I just can't keep up with it. Like it's one of them things like
Yeah.
I feel like for anyone doing this solo, like it is very hard to just keep that grind going on a daily basis. So that's why I'm not really focusing too much on making posts at the moment. Um I'm currently trying to figure out how to make a decent product, and then the post will follow. Um and
Right.
this is how I've been working from the start. Like I like to stay quiet about things that I'm working on and make it a big surprise when it sort of comes out.
Right.
And because, like I said, it is a lot of energy to just 24/7 just going at it. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not built for that. Like,
Me
I
neither.
need my own time, and I also need time to set apart for the business side of things. Um, and that's another thing as well. Everything that's going on in the background, that's what I'm putting my energy towards. Like I'm not focusing on social media. I can do that whenever. I can create posts. I can literally whenever I want. But what I can't do is obviously create designs and like all of these different things that are going on in the background. Like I'm putting my time into all of that stuff, and then I'll focus on social media. So that's how I am going at the moment with that.
Yeah, it's really tough sometimes, right? To find oh, jeez. You hit it right on the spot. Like, dang, sometimes there's not enough, even if there was enough hours in a day, you'd still find something to fill it with hobbies or something. And maybe it's sometimes good to
Exactly.
detach from like getting so deep, like 2 hours past your project in your own company and your eyes are just fried and your fingers is just, all dexterity's taking out your fingertips because you're hammering on the keyboard because you're trying to get a project out, kind of thing, right?
This
It's
this is
last
what I
minute.
mean. So
It's like,
like
no way, the stress levels, no way, no way.
exactly, it's like to create one design. That's
Mm.
hours of work. Like you'll be sitting at a computer for hours just to come up
Copy.
with one
I
thing.
know.
Oh
And
Fonts
then
yeah.
and yeah.
that one thing that you come up with might even not be that great. So you come up with something else that takes even longer. And it's like, yo, you expect me to make a post every single day while also trying to work on the brand, while also like doing my own personal life and
Mm-hmm.
connect like friendships and relationships. Like, no, I'm gonna focus on
Yeah.
one at a time.
Yeah.
I need to pace myself with it.
Yeah. The
Because
important thing.
that's how burnouts happen. Like when you see
Totally.
these
Yeah.
YouTubers,
That's it.
when you see these YouTubers, big YouTubers like PewDiePie, for example, they'll go on like month-long breaks because they've just put so much energy
Fried.
into it, they can't give anything back. So I'm really trying to pace myself with it.
Yeah. It's just like keep plugging away at it, right?
Exactly.
Even
It's
a little
like
bit of
you
consistency.
focus on a little bit at a time. Um, so it's like I'm focusing on creating something. and then I'll focus on, once that's done, actually marketing it, and then I'll go back to creating something else and then market that again, which is what you're going to see in the future.
Cool. Can't wait.
Right on.
That's exciting. You heard it here first.
Definitely.
Yeah. Everyone pay attention. You know, I have a question, and I've been dying to ask this one. What is your favorite move in parkour?
That is a very good question.
I love it.
So glad that you asked. So, again, if we're taking into consideration everything that I've lost, it's a wild one to pick because my consistency isn't there at the moment. I think overall my favorite move is side flip full. Side flip full is usually very easy for me to do, and it's on the more impressive side. When people see twists and stuff like that, I don't know, it's a cool thing to see. And I think I used to be able to do them very well and very consistent. And so obviously that would be my go-to for a big trick. And just in general, side flips, like honestly, you won't catch me in a session not doing a side flip. My favorite.
They're so cool.
They're so easy, so cool, and there's so much you can do with them.
All right. So, besides parkour, was there any other sports that you've grown up with or currently do besides your injury? I didn't mean to laugh, but I mean like besides your injury, like because I'm just thinking, what else are you doing? You're not playing sports, like you're jogging, you said, but like I mean, you're not really involved in like beach volleyball at this point with your injury, you know, like that's why I was laughing. I was just laughing at myself for saying something like that.
So I don't actually do any other sports other than parkour. I dabble a little bit in skateboarding, nothing professionally, but I like to cruise around, so I guess that's considered a sport. But apart from that, I don't do anything else. I like to take up skating, so you know, like rollerblading.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be pretty cool. I'd fully do that. But at this current time, I'm just parkour. It's my life.
Well, Amy, let me be the first to invite you to Winnipeg, Manitoba in the winter, where you can do all the skating you want outside. I'll show you all the cool places to skate. How's that sound?
I think that sounds pretty fun, to be fair.
Okay.
I need to buy roller skates. Like I need to figure that out.
Warm it up to that.
It's honestly, roller skating is I'd say even harder than actually skating on ice.
That's way different.
So hard to stop.
Would you think so?
Yeah.
Roller skates?
I don't know. I've always thought that it was like a lot easier.
On skates, you can just cut in and stop, right? But on roller skates, you kind of have to like drag your foot, or because if you just stop, you're gonna kind of flip over.
I didn't think about that. I don't even know. So you know when you see someone that's doing it professionally and they make it look so easy?
They do.
That's what's going through my head. I'm just thinking, oh yeah, I'll get a pair of skates and I'll be like them. It'll be so easy. And then I invest in them and I probably won't be that good.
You know what? Watch out. Because watch you invest in some rollerblades, roller skates, whatever. The other day I was in the local park here just going for a bike ride, and I saw a group of men, and like 3 of them on rollerblades going through the park. And I'm just like, that's what it is now. That's that's what people are gonna like. We're gonna lose athletes to rollerblading. And then there's that trick rollerblading. Have you seen that, Amy? Where they do like skateboarding grinds on staircases.
Yeah,
and,
no, this is what I'm talking about. That's what I want
Ugh,
to see. Like, it'd be so cool.
no way.
It's
No,
so
thank
scary.
you.
Honestly, it
No.
looks so scary, but I want to give
Yeah.
it a go.
No way.
In a way, I could almost see how that would help with parkour because you're getting used to like higher speeds and that constant movement.
Yeah.
You have to
Like,
react
well,
fast.
apparently, like, you develop a whole different style. And
Mm.
I mean, going back to Archie, he was a skater, wasn't he? Um, and now, was he a skater? Am I thinking about
I'm not even too
Archie?
sure.
Yeah.
I
I know. I think Danny like got really into, or is really still into like the rollerblading, like Ilbaka.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like one of the videos back in the day that he used to create.
Yeah.
Same with Jesse LaFleur there, if we're talking about him again.
Yo, he used to be a skater as well.
Like sick.
Yeah, really good. I think a lot of athletes are as Bob Rees, he did a lot of skateboarding. He's really good at that.
Is that right?
Huh.
Yeah,
He's
Bob
really good.
Rees, he's
Yeah.
got his own like skateboarding Instagram page.
course
And
he
he's
does.
Really?
like he's
Shout out to
really good
Bob.
at it. He's really good at it.
I've learned so much on his page. To be comfortable on a trampoline for once, to do like some kind of conditioning that, I wasn't getting at the open gym to do something or
Yeah.
other. Just the best. And if I do learn something, I do donate. Like you it's a good chunk, to support someone who I could have, not, you know, that's where the community comes in. It's like when you see someone who's given out there and they're saying like this is a PayPal company to, support if you get it, whatever donation, I really appreciate it and all that stuff. And it's like, man, did I ever really appreciate that? This is a chunk of money. I'm gonna send it your way and like please keep on making videos so I can give you some more of my money. You know what I mean? Like
That's the thing as well. Like, creators put a lot of time into what they do, so I think it's good that the people that are gaining from that are sort of giving back. I learned a lot from Bob and the little short tutorials that he did on YouTube.
Yeah.
It helped me get back some of the tricks that I lost. And it was, I don't know, I've always looked up to Bob Rees.
Cool.
I partially the reason why I dropped out of college was because of Bob.
Huh.
And
Tell the story.
right, okay, so I was in college and I was doing a photography course, and there was a lot of things going on with my mental health, and also I couldn't give a fuck about college. Honestly, it was one of them things where education's just not my vibe. I was, when we was talking about earlier that you sort of, when you start parkour, you come into this whole different world. Well, this is what
Yeah.
it's like when you get a job. You get a job and it's boring, and you daydream about being in this
Oh,
whole different. You
so
want to
true.
go outside and just train, and that's what it was like in college. I would sit
Yeah.
at a computer, not do any work, and I would watch Bob Rees's videos. I'm I'm trying to remember the name of it, but one of the videos, I had it on repeat. Honestly, every time I went to college, I would watch that video, and I I ended up like on my breaks, I'd go out and I'd go training with friends, and then it would slowly turn into like skipping lesson and just going out and training. And I was just like, fuck it, like Bob Rees has my life now. Like
Nice.
I'm just fully invested in this point. And I got a job as a parkour coach. Like,
What?
they wanted me to work for them before, but I thought, nah, I need to focus on education. I need to go to college.
Yeah.
And I thought, fuck it, like I don't like college, so why don't I go and get this job that I got offered to do parkour? And I took it for the next year. It was honestly the best time that I've had at a job.
Huh.
I was coaching kids,
Yeah.
adults, I was doing lessons, and it was so fun. I got made redundant in 2018, and I haven't really been able to find a job since, especially not in parkour.
Wow. I really
Crazy.
didn't know that. Cool. I wasn't prepared for that, to tell you the truth. I found coaching really, I don't know about Tom, but for me, it really opened my eyes about like how I can uh, get my message across a little bit more, how to explain a move.
Yeah.
And if I'm coaching a female,
Sick.
it's okay.
2 secs.
No worries.
Absolutely brilliant.
Why
We do love blips.
not? Makes it all interesting, does it not?
2 seconds. You're gonna have a lot of editing to do, you know?
You know
Oh,
what?
it's not that bad.
It's all Tom. I really praise him every time we have a phone call. I'm like, thanks a lot, buddy. Like, I know and he's like, yeah, he's really.
The weird screen thing happened again.
Oh,
I
we
know.
can see you.
I figured it out. 2 secs.
Yeah. You're coming
Trying to
through
get
on
it
our
really
end,
cool.
just so you know.
Ah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
All good.
Right. So, yeah. So, coaching women, or especially because I don't know, it's kind of different than like the displacement, body displacement, encouraging, and everything else. It's totally different, and I really like that as an expression to come across in letting people know that it's okay to do a movement a little bit differently.
Yeah.
You know, and it was good for me to like. Oh man, it was just really cool to be in a gym full of a whole bunch of people that want to do the sport that I want to do so much. And thanks to Tom, he's like introduced me into this gym, and I worked there for a little while. It was just really, it was cool. I hope I really see those kids in the future like come up and just like dominate in PK. You know what I mean?
Well, that is something that I sort of went through as well in my time coaching. I honestly, I think I inspired quite a lot of people to carry on training.
Cool, right on.
And there were people that go to that gym are still training today, and that is really cool to see. Specifically, I remember it was a trans male. Yeah, there was a trans male, and he came to our sessions, and at first, like, he didn't tell anyone, and everyone was using the wrong pronouns. They were calling him or her, and you could tell his self-confidence was quite low. He'd come in and he'd have a hood over his head. He wouldn't get involved in any of the activities. We'd try and sort of like teach him different moves, like one-to-one, but he'd be very shy to go about it. And it was at that point I was like, fuck it. I know something's up, so why am I as a coach sort of letting this happen? And that's when it was almost instantly, I literally stopped using gendered pronouns for this person, and they didn't even come out to me yet. I was just like, I'm going to use they, them pronouns, because I swear to God, this person is trans. Like, I know it's bad. You can't really tell someone's trans, but obviously, from my perspective, and it was very similar to how I came about parkour, if that makes sense.
Nice.
So I could connect to them, and
Yeah.
their mood like sort of flipped around, and we got on quite well, and they started following me, and we started speaking, and they finally came out. Like they came out to their I think they was in a foster home, so they came out to their foster family or carers or whoever it was, and they got more involved in the sessions, and I don't know, I was so happy. I was like, yes, fuck yes, you do you.
Right on, right on. Well, that's a good story. Like, you hope everything turns out that way, right? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. My ulterior motive in my current life is to get everyone doing parkour. Like, I see it in everyone. I'm like,
We
"Hey,
will dominate the world.
it's gonna be
Nobody's
infectious."
safe.
Yeah. The
It's
only
gonna be
way
more infectious than the coronavirus.
it's already happening.
I know. More trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you
It's
got
gonna
it.
be
You
more
got it.
infectious than the coronavirus.
Hey Tom, are you do you have any more questions? Any more things you want to mention?
No, I mean, I guess we've gone pretty fairly in depth with everything
Covered a
so
lot of
far.
my topics, like more in depth than I could ever go, and now I know where I could get some answers from when I come across it again. I mean, like, I gotta go back to this episode.
With
I mean, on my end here, I always just have like our usual top fives to, kind of end things off. But
yeah.
Can I throw something down from a Q&A kind of thing
Yeah,
from
100.
one of your
I'm good.
fans? Right on. Amathea Weber? Tom?
Weaver, I think it's
Yeah.
Weaver. I think it's Is it Weaver? I don't know.
We talked about this before too, and I love sticking this left foot just right up in the back of my mouth. She has a couple questions. I think we did cover some of this. So her question was women in the parkour community and the differences. We did cover that really, really well. So we're gonna highlight that. She says to say hi. And how can this? I like this one. How can parkour community improve diversity of the members, and how you found that worked or didn't work in the community of where you come from? Thanks, Amathea.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is a fucking brilliant question. I wish you reach out to me more, because I think I'm following you as well. Really cool person.
There you go.
Anyway, to answer the question, I have been thinking about it a lot more recently, and specifically in terms of competitions. I know that is where parkour is heading at the moment. Obviously things like sponsorships, brand deals, all of that. And essentially how some people make a career out of parkour. And for trans people, that is very limited. And for queer people in general, like them sort of choices are quite limited to us. And for example, if I couldn't compete in a parkour competition, there's a good chance that not only is that going to happen, but for example, if someone was doing a brand deal and they needed if someone was doing a brand deal and they put out a casting call for a male or female actor, and it's like, well, where do I come into that? I can't apply because I know it would go to a cis female actor. So it's like I can't even make money from brand deals, because nobody's like,
right.
sorry,
Shit.
yeah, I can't.
I've never
I wouldn't
never
even be
even
able
thought
to
of
make
that.
money. Yeah, so I wouldn't even be able to make money from casting agencies. So not I can't make money from competitions. I can't make money from casting agencies. So it's like, well, what can we actually do to be inclusive then? Obviously, number one, let us do them things. Easiest solution.
Right.
Number two, if you say no, a trans person can't compete, like it's shitty, but at least give us another job. Maybe get us in commentating. Maybe get us as a judge. Literally anything. There's so many other jobs in that category. And for you to just say, oh, no, sorry, it's like, no, it's a bit shitty. Like, figure something out. Obviously the next thing that I can think of making things diverse for not just trans athletes, but female athletes and athletes in general is coaching. A lot of things come from coaches, and they need to be doing their part. So obviously, whether that's letting things slide like slurs, or even things like hiring more female coaches, because I'm pretty sure seeing a female coach parkour is more likely to get other female tracers into the sport. So that is a huge thing we can do to diversify things. And on top of that, I think there's a lot of big athletes out there now, such as you've heard of Wavezilla, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Mozilla, yeah.
Yeah, he's really good, and he makes a lot of YouTube videos and different types of content like that. So I think it's really important that we listen to these creators and what they have to say, and really bring their voices to the forefront. And it's like, even just using your platform for good. There's a lot of athletes out there with a lot of followers, and a good example to this is Lorena. I forgot her last name, but I'm pretty sure you know her. Purple hair, Atomic Ant. She's really good. She's got a shit ton of followers, and I see on her stories, like, literally daily she'll be advocating for something.
Really?
And
Yeah,
I think
right
that's
on.
kind of cool. I think
Good
that's
for
kind
her.
of cool. More
Yeah.
people should be doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So to sum it up, there are some easy ways to start diversifying things.
I think those are fucking really well said. Really well said. It takes everyone, and that's what I see in a community, a parkour community. It takes everyone to see everyone, to notice everyone, and accept everyone. And it doesn't really matter. Can you get over this jump? How are you doing it? And can you help me do what you're doing? I don't care what you look like, where you're coming from, what tone, what hair. Help me get to where you are in parkour. You know what I mean?
I like to think about it in terms of, like, there's enough food on the table for everyone, and we should be helping each other fucking reach the table. So
Yeah.
Right on. Oh, I think I cried a little bit. Okay, Tom, you go with your questions here. I love them.
Yeah, I'll hit up the top fives here.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll go with the standard first one here is always the top 5 training places. So your favorite spots?
is this local to me or just in the world?
Anywhere. We
Okay,
can say places you have trained, or maybe even places you want to train.
Okay, I'll break it down, so I'll do like half and half. Favorite spots in the UK. I do most of my training in Manchester. I think my favorite spots in Manchester are New Bailey. It's a really nice spot. There's a lot of grass, so it's good for doing flips and twists and stuff like that. There's not a lot of grassy spots in Manchester, so that's a nice one. It's got a lot of cool jumps as well, so definitely up there. Cathedral spot. always loved Cathedral Spot in Manchester. Again, a lot of grass and a lot of different walls. I can even show you pictures of these if you want to put it in.
Cool.
I think in terms of the world, I think I don't know. I really want to go to I think it'll be cool to train in Spain. I
No
saw
doubt.
some of the things that they have going on in Spain, and it looks
Yeah.
really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, there's a spot in I think it's America, and it's sort of I think it's a water feature, but it's got a huge like concrete walls going around.
Oh yeah. That might be
I'm
that place in Seattle, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it is. So they've got like it's a really, really, really sort of high, different levels of walls everywhere, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a cool one. How many
I
is
think
that?
I've just
3
seen
or
a
4?
post recently about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think specifically another spot is going to be it's going to have to be the Tempest free running gym.
Oh yeah.
Always wanted to train at Tempest, and I want to go to one of the Tempest gyms. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
I'd love to just show up one day. Wait, the south one? Which one shut down? One shut down, right? During
I
the
think it was
COVID.
the South.
Yeah, south.
I think so. I'm not too
Yeah.
sure. It was
I think-
sad.
Yeah,
Their ori-
really.
I think that's their original. Their original location is still open. And there might be another one in Texas. I'm not
Can't
too
keep
sure
up
if that's still
anymore.
open.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that looks like a really good gym.
Mm.
Wicked. Okay. That's places then. How about your top 5 athletes? People you just like
I
to watch or train with, I guess.
I have so many, and top
Mm.
5 doesn't even cut it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think it there's so many, honestly, because I'm still very caught up in the early I'm still caught up in like 2000 era of parkour athletes, and I also like the new generation, so I'm gonna sort of mix it up a little bit. Obviously old school Alfred Scott, and he's
Wow.
been injured
Right
for
on.
quite a while.
Yeah.
So not many people now know of him because he's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
But he's definitely one of the guys that I really looked up to. For style, I think Archie, like I already said, Archie is one of the most stylish people in parkour at the moment. So that's sort of a new generation. If we're going on to the female athletes,
Yeah.
I think one to look out for, I don't want to butcher her name, but Gemini Powell, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
She is so good. She's hitting
She's killer.
castaways, and it's insane.
Alright.
I really like it.
Check it out.
Another female athlete, Ruel. I don't know. How do you
yes.
pronounce that name?
Oh shit.
She's so fucking good.
She
Yeah.
still wears baggy pants.
I know. She is so good. I'm now currently trying to find another athlete because I know that they are really good, and I want to be able to include them. So
Oh, that's
I'm gonna
nice.
Google it,
Yeah,
and
take your time.
I can't miss them off because they're changing the game. I'm
Nice.
gonna see if I can scroll down and find it. It'll come up on the Tempest submissions, so
Hmm.
you will not be sorry when I find it though. 'Cause they are actually that good.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna match that. When you get it, I'm gonna add it. How's that?
I think that's pretty awesome. I've kind of got it up now, so I'm on Tempest Online.
Yeah, take your time.
Honestly, it'll be the first one that comes up as well.
Yeah.
Why am I? She fucking won it. Why am I looking at Tempest
Oh,
Online?
is it Yadamoto? No. Yeah. Who is that? Fuck. Edit
Always
this
winning
out, Tom.
stuff. Who's it? Like Camilla? Camilla's always win.
No, I like Camilla. Camilla's really good.
Is it Hasha? Is she overseas?
Yeah, I think she's in Asia. I think.
Oh, yeah. Please find. She is
Tell
changing.
me about it. She's so
Oh,
good. She's so good. She's got such a strange, awesome, unique style, and literally one of the
Hannah.
best females in the game right now.
Hannah
I'm gonna have to look this up
Namaru
after.
or something.
Yeah.
She, I can't. I could see her name. I just can't. I can't put it all together. But one of my faves. I think
right
if
now
I were
she
to-
is probably the best female athlete in parkour.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps. She's so good.
I'm like that close to finding out who it
Yeah,
is.
I'll check it out too. Yeah.
Yo, I found it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hanaho Yamamoto,
Can you
Japan. She is probably the best female athlete in the game right now. No questions asked. She is like the best.
Oh man.
You seen this,
It's
Tom?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
so
watching it right
insane,
now.
honestly. Like, I only just recently found her, and where has she been all this time? She is so good.
She has a friend of hers that she trains with, and it's literally disgusting how good they are. This makes me
Tell
wish
me
I was
about it.
23 years younger, and and like getting lost in Japan with them. You know what I mean? Like
I know.
her
They are
second
so
last
good.
post, like that's you're like really good
She's
for her.
like,
Good for
she's
her.
hitting the things that the top male athletes are hitting.
Yeah.
And I respect that so much. She is so good.
Good call. Good
Um,
call on that shout out.
And I think I had one more left. I think that's Alfred Scott, Hannah, Gemini. Was that it? Did I already do
Jan
three?
Powell?
Yeah, that one. Obviously England. Shout out to Rachel Goff. I've already shouted out.
There you go.
But she is really good.
Yeah.
And obviously Miranda Tibbling. She's killing it, and I don't know. I love her style because it is so similar to mine. She's doing big side flip prees and all of that stuff. And I think it's super similar to what I'm doing. So
Well, keep
Sweet,
it
you're
up
gonna have to-
because whatever you're doing is amazing and it's showing.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Bring it
So,
on the
if-
final question.
If you're familiar with our podcast, we always end off asking just for one piece of sage advice. So, could be for people getting into parkour or and other sports.
One piece of advice.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for Amy wisdom?
Yeah.
Right, okay. On a real, my one piece advice is to literally just be yourself. Honestly, like, I know it's such a simple thing, but like, there's literally nobody like you. And there's nobody that has your sense of style, your sense of movement. And there's nobody that can do you as better than you. There's no point in being a copy of somebody else because it's never going to work. And always stay true to you, and eventually you will get where you want to be. But honestly, like, don't waste life trying to fit into a category that you're never going to fit into. and create your own fucking category, create your own box, live outside the box, and do your own motherfucking thing, because you're gonna die someday, so live it up. Cheers.
That's great.
Oh, beautiful. I think I got teary-eyed 3 times during this podcast. And that is so
Thank you.
embracing.
That's gonna make my heart explode.
No, this is great because it gives me like a different spectrum for parkour instead of seeing it through the ultraviolet spectrum. Now I'm seeing like through different like things. It's bringing new life back to me. So thank you so much.
You're
Like,
welcome. I appreciate coming on to this podcast.
can you come
and
back?
Honestly, I would love that.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
I rate you guys so much. It's
Okay.
been such a pleasure.
Well, you know, be prepared. You're gonna get some more followers if you don't have enough.
Honestly.
We're
I
gonna
need to
put
get to 1K.
Okay.
We're on the road to 1K.
That's
we're gonna
right,
help
yeah.
you. Yeah, we're gonna help you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna have all the things we talked about. We're gonna have your at on Instagram, and we'll link everything up.
Yeah.
And this has been wonderful. Thanks for making my day.
Honestly, thank you for
Yeah.
making mine. It's really good to connect with people, and I'm glad you messaged me. Like, it was such a turn of events. Like, it went from a couple of DMs to like coming on to a fucking podcast with you guys.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, why not?
And-
I
yeah.
hope we get the chance to hang out at some point.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
inviting you
Cool.
to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Winnipeg.
Dude, honestly, I am gonna make it happen. I
Okay,
don't know
alright.
when. I don't know when, and I don't know how, but I will make it happen.
There's a
I
place for you.
promise. At some point, I'm gonna make it happen.
Okay, cool. There's a place for you, and I'll show you all the cool places and
Thank you.
different things.
And same to you if you ever decide to come over to this end.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, this has been great, and our very first international
Hmm.
guest as well. Took
I
the
know,
took
I'm
the spot for that.
fucking breaking the mode.
Yeah.
Like, what can I say?
If you have anything to say, we'll come back in a second, part 2.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on, and I hope you guys have a fucking awesome day.
Thanks. It's snowing here.
Or night, night or day. It's night here as well. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm drunk.
All right.
If anyone knows me, you know how I feel. So awesome. So check out Amy's sites, Tom.
Yeah. So everything will be in the description for people who want links.
Yeah.
Of course. So follow the page, share this around. Yeah. That's it.
Perfect.
I think we're good to go.
All right.
Well, peace out.
Good. I
Peace.
can't wait to see what you're up to.
Thank you. Bye.